So this, yeah, so you would be,
Yeah, not good, but.
and then the other equation up here, the 1 calorie per kilogram per hour. Yeah, so the two different equations, so the one on the PowerPoint versus the one in the book. Did you guys get one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so all of that to say, when in doubt, right, you can just do the simple math if you don't have access to the deeper formulas. So we're looking at really 1 calorie per kilogram per hour. So in a day, we're looking at 24 hours. Yes.
This is just if I went in my room and I sat perfectly still in a chair all day long, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because mine just seems really
And
low.
eat. This REE includes eating.
Okay.
So, yep. So this one already takes into effect the thermal effect of food. So now, okay, let me back up and rephrase that. This would be in a generally normal day without exercise added. So obviously this would ebb and flow depending on like what kind of a day, because obviously an office worker could probably be really close to this, but you take a construction worker who's out moving all the time, he's going to have to, or she is going to have to take into effect the extra physical activity that they're doing. So that physical activity would be involved. That could be physical activity and exercise would be grouped together, added in.
I mean, this gives me 1900, but when I do my plate, it tells me to eat 3,500 calories a day. So I burn like 1,600 calories in my workout. I don't think I do that.
Yeah, you probably don't. So that's high. But what do you tell? Because you run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm not a distance runner though.
yeah.
Sprinter,
Runner. So high intensity, but add in your age. What is it telling you for your particular age? Yeah, that's not huge. Yeah, what is that kind of similar? So Sam, what does it tell you about, do you remember on Choose My Plate?
Yeah, it's just about like 3,000 or 3,500 calories.
Okay.
I mean, I weigh a lot less than him, so that's why they're about the same.
Yeah.
Even though we work out differently.
Do it different. Yeah. Yeah. So for an average person, just to go about a normal day, probably, did you guys fall somewhere around 1,700 to 2,000 calories maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of where they came up with like that 2,000 calorie diet. But then you add the moving and a more active lifestyle. I'm going to go ahead and flip. You got me off track. We might as well take it completely off track. Flip to the back of the book, and I love this. So let me see if I can find it. Where is not the book, the chapter? Okay, let me think. Where? Maybe it's in the front. Hold on. Okay, it's figure 317. Okay. And by table 3.7. So you see this chart. So in this case, this particular person, they're saying, yeah.
What page do you say?
I don't. It's figure 317. I know my page is different.
Back of the book?
109. No, sorry. Just the back of the chapter, but it's not. It's not even the back of the chapter. It was just out of the order I was going. So here is breaking down what a kind of a, probably more of a sedentary person's breakdown would be. All right, the basal energy expenditure in this case is 1,400 calories. The thermal effect of food is another 200 calories, and then 400 for the thermal effect of exercise. All right, so if you look over then, they give you 4 categories. So this is within the context of the paragraph. They tell you how to figure out low active category, very active category. And what you do is you do a ratio. So you take the number of calories that you intake, you divide it by the basal energy expenditure, and this is going to put you in a category. So let's say that when you do this, most of, like in this case, 2,000 calorie diet, or 2,000 calories expended is what it is. 1,400 of that are just from living. And so if you do that ratio, it's a low ratio. It ends up being 1.43, so it's a low activity. But, so let's say you expend, Alex, that 3,000 calories that you're expending, and so your basal effect is about 1,800. I don't know, what was your?
It was in like 1930.
Okay, 1930, okay, was just from living, all right? So yours, if you divide that 3,000 by the 1,900, now that number is higher and you are up in the very active category. And so that all has a play in then how many calories you should intake, what your expenditure is. And they do this, I'm trying to see if I have, make sure I'm not getting too crazy. Might as well be crazy. It's a Monday, right? We're gonna move outside the box. So now, I don't know if you guys have to flip pages, but go a little bit further here. So yeah, so turn the page, and you're going to see then that they have this estimated energy requirement. So I'm going to have you guys work through that, okay? And you're going to decide what category do you think you fall in. You know, so a low active category would be somebody where most of the energy expended would come from just the normal everyday life. But if you do a whole lot on top of that, that's going to change the physical activity coefficient, all right? And so you're going to look at that. So for sedentary, that number is just going to be a 1. So you're just not taking into account that you're doing any extra activity. But then that moves up as you move up through the categories. So those of you who are athletes right now, you probably will use the very active coefficient. If you work out on a regular basis, you would use at least maybe the active. If you don't do any exercises, then that would bump down. So what I'm going to have you do, spend a little bit of time using the equations then that you will find right in that next section. So it will say males 19 years older, females 19 years older. And use that with the coefficient that you would have. Maybe each of you go ahead and write down that equation. Any questions? What the different parts, or can you guys work through that? Yeah, and so your weight is in kilograms, your height is going to be in meters, and they tell you how to convert that. Okay, so you have to do a little bit of math here. And then the PA is what is your activity level.
years, and your weight is in kilograms. And then when Kelsey's done, you'll have those to plug in. I should have put it up. What's the height? Yeah. I'm gonna throw the equation on the board. Since you wrote it down, right? Okay, I'm gonna just throw this up on the board.
So for those of you who don't have this, for the guys, this is your equation. That's what. And then, okay, so this is guys, this is girls. And you guys know all of the order of how to do this, right? I'm assuming that you do. Did I do that all right?
So did that does that mean that we
Do this first.
right, that first, like, did we do that in that order?
Yep. Yeah, you do that first, then you do this second. And then you start from here and work your way in. Ah, there's no parentheses here, is there?
You have to do multiplication.
So we multiply eight.
Oh, so you would do this first. So, okay, so before you subtract, this has to happen first because it's multiplication, right? I'm gonna help you guys pass those stupid little internet quizzes. Okay, does that make sense? So you're gonna have this number, and this number figured out and then mesh them together.
Actually,
Right?
I got 29.
Okay, so making large and wait, what's wrong?
That is the
Do you add them together?
activity coefficient that you, yep, so either low active. So, Emma, so it would be, oh, sedentary, are you done? Okay. Sedentary is 1, low active for females is 1.12. Active is 1.27 for females, very active is 1.45. Low active for males is 1.11, active is 1.25, very active is 1.48.
Okay, what'd you guys end up with? Did it make sense?
Yes, it did, yay.
Oh, shoot.
Your guys' workout? Hey, so it came out to what they said, didn't it? Adding that in.
Right now it's 5'2".
Height in meters. So you multiply inches by,
And 122. That way 150. And I'm shorter.
yeah, 0.0254.
Either we messed it up.
Okay, whatever. What did yours come out? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, good. Oh, wow, time flies. Okay. Hey, so does that make more sense then when you add everything in? And what Alex said was that this matches kind of what Choose My Plate says. So, being active added on increases the amount of energy that you expend on a daily basis. So you're going to be able to burn extra calories in weight management. So I always talk to people who are trying to manage their weight about working out, obviously. Okay, we will finish this section and move on to the next one on Wednesday. Talk to your groups about the meals. At least give me an idea of what you are doing for Sunday. Don't forget the snacks.